Evo ga, čujemo se. Stanka za ručak bila je nekome duga, nekome kratka, ali spremni smo za nastavak. I nastavljamo kao što smo najavili prije stanke sa sponzorskim predavanjima. Najprije sigurnosna pohrana radnih stanica, najbolje prakse i Kristijan Dizdar, Storm Computers DOO. Izvolite.
Može samo tako. Ok, lijep pozdrav svima. Moje ime je Kristijan Dizdar i radim u Storm grupi kao sistem inženjer i tema ovog kratkog bloka bit će sigurnosna pohrana radnih stanica, odnosno najbolje prakse. Zapravo poanta priče je samo podići zapravo svijest da se ne bekapiraju samo serveri, nego da i se vlastiti podaci trebaju bekapirati. A prije početka, ko misli da bekapira svoje podatke redovno? Baš redovno. Ima ko? A da nije isto tako OneDrive, G-Drive, Dropbox i tako dalje. Ok, doći ćemo do toga i poslije. Možemo. Sada, zašto backup? U realnosti, znači mi smo podaci, znači sve što generiramo ipak se relaja na podacima, bilo od zdravstva, bilo od edukacijskog sektora, bilo od poslovnog segmenta. U poslovnom segmentu znači to generira nekakav revenue, odnosno prodaju. U edukacijskom smislu prati se efektivnost, rad profesora, studenata, intelektualno vlasništvo koje je isto tako nekakva vrsta podatka. I suština cijele priče, ako izgubite podatke, izgubili ste track oko svega, znači vrijedne informacije, kontinuitet u poslovanju, podaci o klijenata. I suština cijele priče je koji su financijski i reputacijski rizici, a pogotovo i pravni, ako se radi o takvoj nekakvoj vrsti dokumenata. Sada, suština priče, zašto backup? U prosjeku svaki 4. korisnik godišnje izgubi podatke. Ja osobno dijelim ljude u dvije skupine, znači oni koji već backupiraju i oni koji će tek backupirati, odnosno još malo možda negativnije, oni koji su izgubili podatke, oni koji će ih tek izgubiti. Jer nažalost svijest nije iz našeg kuta gledanja nešto prevelika, a poanta je svi ovi faktori koji su navedeni, znači od krađe opreme, virusa, ransomwarea, hardverskih kvarova, jer ipak hardver ima nekakav svoj rok trajanja, fizičko oštećenja i prirodne katastrofe kao što su potresi, poplave, požari i slično. Najviše bih tu dao naglasak znači, na cyber security dio priče, odnosno zašto bi se moralo backupirati. Edukacijski sektor ima nažalost najnižu stopu cyber sigurnosti, a sad ćemo navesti razloge i zašto. Jer neću reći manja pokrivenost personalom, nego je manja pokrivenost IT tehnologijama, pogotovo ako gledamo security segment, znači od firewalla, od email security gatewaya, od anti-malware rješenja i slično, naspram poslovnih korisnika koji se u većoj ili u manjoj mjeri odlučuju za potpunu implementaciju nekakvog security stacka, a isto tako jedan od najvažnijih faktora u cijeloj priči je veliki udio file sharinga, jer svi su repozitoriji, nećemo reći svi, ali većina repozitorija su javni i tu je velik udio osjetljivih podataka. Od intelektualnog vlasništva, privatnih podataka koji su možda nesvjesno šerani i tako dalje. Državne institucije, tu sam ih naveo, ali uglavnom su implementirale sve svoje potrebne tehnologije i tvrtke poslovni korisnici naravno zbog otkupa ransomware, kad se zarazite ransomwareom neće se ništa dugo oštetiti osim vaših podataka za koje ipak trebate platiti otkupninu ukoliko niste se posvetili backupu kao takvom. Backup, suština backupa, to je znači da kreirate barem jednu kopiju podataka, mada nije ni jedna više dovoljna, i fajlova radi čuvanja istih u slučaju katastrofe ili kvara opreme. Katastrofe su znači ili cyber security katastrofa, odnosno nismo se dovoljno štitili pa nismo u tom segmentu nismo ni pazili dovoljno na svoje datoteke u samom radu, ili ćemo uzeti drugu kategoriju prirodnih katastrofa. Glavni smisao je prevencija gubitaka podataka, odnosno identificirat ćemo što treba uključiti u procedure, da li ćemo full OS image sa podacima, sa aplikacijama i tako dalje, ili ćemo same datoteke uključiti koje smo generirali iz nekakvog office suita, znači prezentacije, spreadsheetovi, Word dokumenti i slično. Tu sam napravio kategorizaciju zapravo na 3 bitne svrhe backupa, disaster recovery, odnosno oporavak od nekakve katastrofe. Ako imamo nekakav vremenski period u kojem mi moramo vratiti operaciju, odnosno sustav vratiti u operabilno stanje, odnosno to se na engleskom kaže RPO ili Recovery Point Objective. Uglavnom u enterprise sustavima je to 15 minuta ili pola sata. Operativna svrha, jer hardware ima rok trajanja, i arhiviranje. Ovdje arhiviranje sam namjerno stavio sa zvjezdicom zato što neki vendori kažu da je arhiviranje bitno, ali to nije zapravo primarna svrha backupa, nego je isključivo poštivanje zakonskih i inih regulativa da jednostavno sačuvamo podatke u nekom periodu koji je nama zadan. Recimo u pravnom u svijetu je to 7 godina i u poslovnom se čuva i do 5 godina. Tu se neću puno zadržavati, znači imamo 3 tipa backupa, full, diferencijalni, inkrementalni. Razlike u ovom bloku, nažalost, ne bih imao vremena puno ni objasniti, ali full backup je kompletna slika, znači imamo kompletno stanje na određeni dan, a diferencijalni inkrementalni su zapravo zapisivanje razlika između zadnjeg pokrenutog full backupa ili zadnjeg inkrementalnog backupa ukoliko se držimo nekakvog inkrementalnog polisija. Preporuka, u biti većina inženjera će vam reći da se važni podaci trebaju u suštini backupirati najmanje jednom tjedno, ali zapravo je 24 sata nekakav period u kojem bi trebali, svaka 24 sata bi trebali backupirati sve razlike u datotekama, jer nikad ne znate što donosi sutra, pa tako ni u IT svijetu. A proizvođači softvera su za korisnike razradili već automatiku što se sve treba dogoditi u pozadinu, u koliko sati, koji nam je scope podataka i slično. Sada poanta, odnosno pitanje s početka priče, znači niti OneDrive, niti Google Drive, niti Dropbox zapravo nisu backup sustavi, nego to je čisti file sharing sustav i ljudi imaju krivu percepciju zašto se treba napraviti backup i podataka sa tih sustava, i backup vendori kao što su Vim, Nakivo, Commvault i tako dalje imaju isto tako agente koji, odnosno softvere, ajmo reći, koji backupiraju i cloud content, jer svrha istih tih servisa je postojanje, odnosno sinkroniziranje podataka sa jednog od računala, i kad vi pristupite sa drugog, vi bi trebali imati vidljive iste fajlove, ali će se sinkronizacija raditi na svim logično radnim stanicama gdje ste ulogirali se sa svojim akauntom. Cloud servis može biti repozitorij, ali nikako ne bi smio biti nekako backup rješenje. Kao najvažniji faktor bih rekao selekcija gdje i što backupiramo i koje servise uopće doživljavamo kao backup, a koje kao nekakav pure file sharing sustav. Suština, odnosno najbolja praksa, bilo u serverskom, bilo u workstation svijetu, je 3 kopije podataka. Znači jedna glavna i 2 security kopije, jer time mitigiramo u realnosti većinu rizika. 2 kopije mogu biti kod vas na nekakvom storage sustavu ili na appliancu koji ima backup software, i na nekom zaštićenom disku eksternom, znači ili USB drive ili nekakav hard drive koji ima enkripciju, odnosno mehanizam za isti na sebi. I 3. kopija bi trebala biti geografski dislocirana ukoliko je to moguće, ili offline lokacija, jer isto tako možemo očekivati nepogode, bilo prirodne, bilo security prirode. Kao što sam naveo, znači ili enkriptani drive ili enkriptani USB također je dobar, makar su disperzirani sustavi puno bolji, jer ipak možemo sve radne stanice naravno backupirati na isti sustav i replicirati ga na drugu lokaciju. I financijski gledano ova opcija ne iziskuje velika ulaganja niti u hardwareskom niti u softverskom segmentu. Danas su backup softveri zaista jeftini per workstation, ono što se tiče licenciranja, a benefiti su zaista višestruki, mada ne bih rekao više da bi mi u tom segmentu trebali gledati benefite, nego je to doduše nužno ulaganje i backup više nije opcija ako mi želimo sačuvati nekakav kontinuitet poslovanja, nekakav track svojih podataka u nekakvom zamišljenom vremenskom time frame-u iza sebe. I kao primjer ću opet uzeti cloud servise za kraj. Ako recimo sad obrišete nekakav mail, obrišete nekakav attachment koji vam je u tom trenutku možda bio nebitan, a poslije se morate prisjetiti, proći će 30 dana, vi pokušavate vraćati te podatke, vendori to ne žele za vas napraviti, niti to u njihovom company policy uopće da za bilo kakav enterprise tenant to uopće nažalost i rade. Za kraj ovog bloka bih samo napomenuo da bi trebali korisnici krenuti od sebe i da korisnici bi trebali biti svjesni svojih podataka i ne čekati nekakvom inercijom da se nešto dogodi i da se osvješćujemo o bitnosti takve nekakve procedure, nego da se krene doslovno sutra i da se poštuje ta procedura i kontinuitet. Eto, toliko od mene. Hvala.
Hvala. Hvala lijepa gospodinu Dizdaru. A drugo sponzorsko predavanje nam slijedi Train Your AI with HPA Cray Tools, Volodimir Savjak, Hewlett Packard Enterprise.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll talk today a little bit about HPE Cray tools, which you can use to train your AI. Probably not every one of you knows that HPE no longer producing printers, right? Maybe someone still believes we produce audio oscillators. The question, who knows what is audio oscillator? No one? Yeah, too young audience. Okay. Actually, today we deliver to the market a lot of solutions, and we also own and program a lot of software, which is generally not an applications, but a middleware, something you can use to develop your applications. I was quite surprised recently looking at United Nations website. They have a special program about artificial intelligence development. And while talking about artificial intelligence development, they talk a lot about the reasons why we as humanity, why we need AI. And actually, AI is stated like a tool for automation, which will make our life better and will solve the key challenging problems of humanity, right? And believe it or not, but you can find it on United Nations website, there are still key 3 problems for humanity, like poverty, hunger, and health. No, still, so we are, if you look around, you hardly believe it, but the world is not only Croatia, Europe, so there are many other countries where people really have problems. So maybe most of you don't really touch the first or the second problem. Maybe the second problem only to become healthier, not to eat too much, right? Probably the third problem, which is health, is touching everyone anyway. So AI is a tool to solve it. It also was quite surprising for me that according to statistics, it's about a little bit less than 5%, but still 5% of all the population in the world live for less than $2 per day. About 50% of population, a little bit less, live for about $5 per day. Okay, it's much better than it was 30 years ago. This statistics is very improved positively, but there is a big room to improve still, right? Good. HPE, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, today is perceived like a market leader and named like a market leader for high-performance computing and artificial intelligence in many segments of the market, according to major marketing agencies in the world. But Readers and Editors' Choice Award from HPC Wire is probably something that we are proud the most. Why? Because this is an award which is given based on research, or let's say a questionnaire which is made with the real customers, real users. So the HPC Wire asks a lot of people who use HPC and AI what they think about leaders. So they called us a leader again in many areas, which is a big pleasure, and that's also a responsibility if you are a leader. But from other side, I believe that we have enough power, knowledge, and money to make very good AI tools. And our vision is that we need to make a platform for AI, which probably should be the best platform for development and training of AI. Let's take a look what we have for today. First, let's touch a little bit this AI software market. Actually, AI ML, which we have it today, is a technology, is a consequence of development of three big trends in IT industry. The first trend is big data, as we call it, right? So we are collecting data from so many sources and in such big quantities that we never did before. And actually, this data collection is extremely important because that's the basis of artificial intelligence based on machine learning. So if you want machines to learn, they should have the data, because for today, machines still suffer from not enough good sensors to perceive information from around the world, right? So the easiest way for them to get information is just from data. But just imagine that probably the next stage of development for the machine learning will be a connection of the machine learning tools to the real world. Because for today, when you train your AI, you actually give it access to the data, and this data is a kind of reproduction of our world around, right? But it's not direct connection to the physical parameters of the world. It's not direct visual information, sensory information. Sometimes yes, but in general, not enough. So when you start combining information flowing directly from the real world with the information available in the data which you typically use to train your AI, this AI probably will be able to become a kind of general intelligence, but not today. So the other trend is increase in performance of computing engines. To process all this data, it's extremely important to have good capabilities in compute. And the third trend, which is also very important, is that we finally have new algorithms which allows us to do a little bit more than just a prediction of the next word. If you take a look on this software market in terms of the tools, you will find that there are hundreds of them. And that's a real chaos. It's very difficult to build your set of the tool, your platform with these tools which are available on the market, because the market is young, right? And it's really booming. One approach could be do it yourself. Yeah, so you can choose the right tools available on the market. What means the right tools? Something which you believe is right for you. And probably there will be hundreds of integration points which you will need to do, and you will have a tool. Another approach could be to go to the cloud providers, right? Because some big cloud providers, they have well-made integrated tools which have a good support. Or maybe to go to some of the accelerator vendors. And some accelerator vendors also have a good set of tools. But what is the problem with this approach to go to cloud provider or to accelerator vendor is that you become locked into this technology. Because in both of these cases, the vendors will limit you either to this exact cloud or to exact accelerator. Our idea is to make a tool which will be universal in terms of environment which you use. So that means you can either choose any cloud you want, or you can use it on premise, you can use it in bare metal installation, you can use classical HPC environment, which is often bare metal or maybe singularity containers, or you can go with Kubernetes containers, which is more, how to say, usual for AI ML developers. So that's a way which we try to go. When developing such a platform for AI at scale, we definitely should understand the underlying hardware and environment. And as I already told with the previous slide, we as HPE, because we are not connected to the exact big cloud environment, right? So we're working with different cloud providers. Yes, we actually have our own HPC AI cloud, and if someone is interested, send me a message, I will give you a link. But we also do a lot of hardware. So we need to make a tool which will run on different hardware. And as you may understand, we don't only use a single type of accelerator, right? So you can buy from us a system which will use either Intel CPU, AMD CPU, ARM CPU, NVIDIA GPU, Qualcomm GPU, Intel GPU, AMD GPU. So there are a big choice. So that means that our tools should work with everything. And we actually try to make it. Yeah? So maybe we are not perfect today, but we already do a lot. Developing this platform for AI at scale, we focused on 3 major areas. One is AI data management at scale. So probably the portion of developing your models and training your models, which is data preparation and data ingestion and actually tracking the data during all the process, is one of the most important. The second area is developing the model itself, the design, and also training the model. And the third area is actually deployment and inference. On top of these technologies, we are ready to offer a complete solution for different industries. Actually, we deliver solutions for manufacturing, for healthcare, and these are complete solutions which includes hardware, software, services, everything. But when do you really can benefit from this type of tools, which are available from HPE? It's usually not when you start your journey, right? When you start your AI journey. And probably in your organization, in the beginning, you have 1 or 2 people developing the models. Probably for training, you will use a single machine, several GPU. It's when you start. Maybe single framework, I don't know, TensorFlow as an example here. In this case, our tools could be useful, but I would say will not bring you too much value. And actually, what we did, we have a version of our tools available in open source. And for this scenario, when you are starting developing your AI, you can use our open source tools. They will not have some features which are very important for big organizations, like specific security features. But as a single developer, it's good enough, right? But if you start growing your AI experiments, let's say you have larger infrastructure using different accelerators, using different frameworks, a lot of people will use all these tools together. You need to share the access. You need to take care about security. You need to be able to train the big model. Assume you want to train LLM on a big cluster. How to make it fast and to make it easy way. Our tool will help. And also our tool will allows you to track the experiments. It means that every new scientist who will come to organization or another department will be able to get the model, to get all the data connected, to get all the parameters and reproduce what you did before. We have 4 major tools today, which can be combined into a single platform, or also they can be used separately. The first tool is called Pachyderm. Maybe many of you heard about it. It has open source version. It is a data pipeline for ML AI. The other tool is called Machine Learning Development Environment. Previously, it was called Cray AI Development Environment. For some reason, we decided to rename it. It also has an open source version, which is differently called. The open source version is called Determined AI. That is something you can go to the web, download, and use it. And actually, you have almost all the capabilities except security and sharing resources by multiple teams. So if you do it your own, I mean, you develop your machine learning or deep learning networks and you want to train it yourself, it's okay to use. We also have Smart Sim. That is very interesting tool which allows you to combine modern AI techniques using these famous frameworks like Caffe, TensorFlow, Onyx, together with your simulation code based on Fortran or C. And we also have swarm learning. And about swarm learning today, and Glimgo told already a little bit. Good, so Pachyderm. Pachyderm helps you to, okay, it shows 0 timing. Why, but, okay, so I have some time yet, yeah? Okay, thank you very much. Good, I will be faster. So Pachyderm allows to manage data pipeline. What does it mean? Actually, it helps you to make an ingestion of data. It helps you to track the data. It follows the versioning. It has snapshots. It also has a deduplication, because if you work a lot with different models, but you work with the same data, you often need to make some transformations. And maybe these transformations are not very big in terms of the changes which you are doing, but if you just duplicate the data all the time, you just lose a lot of capacity. So it does a lot of things around this data pipeline. Very efficient in terms of the using of resources and very convenient tool. So take a look, Pachyderm, very good tool. Maybe it helps you. Machine learning development environment. So first, what it helps you to do is to share compute resources. So you can have a lot of engineers working together on a big cluster, and you will be able to share resources according to your politics. Thank you very much. Still a few slides left, sorry. Also, it helps you to adjust hyperparameters. So you can do hyperparameter search. During this procedure, actually, the algorithm will help you to find the best hyperparameters for your models, which will give you the fastest results with the best quality of the results. It also has neural architecture search. And actually a lot of other features, but just check yourself. Yeah, I'm sorry, so the previous speaker was a little bit longer, so maybe one more slide. So let it be the last slide for today. And Smart Sim. So Smart Sim, as I told already, allows you to combine classical programming and simulation using C, C++ Fortran, and modern AI programming using the frameworks. And actually, you can do it without tool using a file system, right? So you can do your simulation, write the data to file system, and analyze it. But what we did, we allowed a direct streaming between your simulation code and AI models, which you run on another portion of hardware, and the data exchange is happening online, and you, in parallel, or when your simulation model works, you can work in your Jupyter notebook, making analysis of the data, making some prediction for your simulation, and maybe you can shorten your simulation cycle, or maybe you can get better quality of the results, right? Or maybe you want to visualize it. So quite useful tool. Everything is real time. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you're welcome.